Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to continue with the task of actually displaying the posts. And currently the thing is that we don't have a database, so the displaying of the posts is not going to be like a really, good and practical feature. What we're basically going to do is we're going to make an array in which we'll make like 3 or 4 posts, and then we'll just print them out on the screen. But after this, the next thing that we'll be learning is the database, and then we'll like push things to the database. We'll remove things from the database. So yeah, that'll be much better. Great. So I can now just go to my goal. I can press on run. This actually closes down by itself if you don't run it for some time, right? So I'll let it run. I'll let it load. Meanwhile, I need to add something in there where it will be post route for adding clause, right? We need to make a post route which the form will submit to, right? And this we're not going to make just yet, and that's why I've put this in the to-dos. And this is how Trello will be useful, because this way we'll not forget what we need to do, right? Great. So now our environment is almost ready. The terminal is running. Great. So the terminal is now on, and the next I can do is window, new terminal window. CD blogify node 1. And here too I'll do CD blogify at once. Great. So now if I refresh this site and I'm getting something, means my server is now running perfectly. Great. So now let's start actually rendering these things, right? So what I'll do is up top here, I'll do const data is equal to an array, which will be an array of objects, right? So let's make that. And we'll eventually add a lot of things to this, like who's the creator, and we'll add an image, and we'll add like comments and all of those things. But for now, what we're going to do is just a simple title and a subtitle, and we'll print that without the styling. Like, we're going to do the styling using Bootstrap mostly. I'm not even sure if we'll be making a style sheet. We'll make that only if like it's necessary to add a certain style, but most probably we'll complete the whole thing with Bootstrap, right? Great. So I'll do data, and now inside this, so I'll have title, which will be let's say first post, and content will be this is my first blog post, right? And next we'll have title will be second post, and content will be this is my second blog post. Great, and I'll put a comma after this too. So now I have 2 posts, and let's just add one more, right? And that will be helpful. 2 more, in fact, right? So I'll do this is third, and this will be fourth. Great. So now we have our data array ready, and we can use this to actually render these 4 posts inside of the slash blogs. So of course, to render that, we'll first have to pass that. I'll do data. So now inside this index.ejs, we have a variable named data, which has these values, right? So I'll now go to this, and So now this is open and let's just start printing those things out. Great. So what I'll do is I'll do simply an EJS tag and yeah, alright. So I'll make a UL outside of this, right? And this EJS tag will be inside the UL. You'll see why I'm doing this in just a moment. So this will be a logic and we'll be using data here and we'll do the for each. We did something like that in the intro too, so I think you can be a little comfortable with this. So inside we'll have item, right? So I need to have my EJS brackets on both the places. So now my for each loop is ready and everything I do in between these braces will be my for each loop. So now the next thing that I can do is I can make an li for this, right? And inside the li, what I can do is I can do item.title, and the next I can do another OL, a UL, let's say, inside which the li will be. Now this structure has become a little complex, I know, and it might be a little confusing, but let me show you what I'm actually aiming for here, right? I'm aiming for something like that. We have a bullet point, let's say this is a bullet point, right? And then we have the title, inside which we have another bullet point, which is the content, right? So this is something what I'm aiming for. And for that we have a UL, inside which we have an li, inside which we have another UL and another li. So of course this won't work just yet. We have to put the EJS tags around this, right? And similarly here. Great. So now when I go to this page, right, and I refresh, I get something which I was aiming for. I get first post, this is my first blog post, and second post, this is my second blog post. So one more thing I could do is I could actually wrap this inside of an h3, let's say. And now if I go back here and I refresh, I get a little like something, and of course we could style this much better, and we're going to do that. But for now, we are just rendering posts to our page, which was our main aim for now, right? And we could like do a similar thing in the home.ejs too. And I'll open that up. And you'll see why I'm adding the same code, exact same code, right? And if I go here and I refresh, and then I go to /2, and the reason that I'm getting an error is that I haven't actually passed that into this, right? I need to do data. And if I go here and I refresh, I get the same page, except the h1 is different because this is the home page, right? So now we have rendered posts on both of these, and currently they're the same. Now I'm sure that you remember that the home page needs to have only the latest posts, and the explore page will have all of them. Plus the home page will also have like a jumbotron and an intro and all of those things. So that we'll do like in a later video when we're actually doing the styling. But for now, we can see that we've rendered the posts to both the pages by just sending them from here. And just to give you a hint, we'll make this data array using Mongo, which is like a database model. So we'll get this array from our database instead of declaring it here, and then we'll pass that. And the code inside this will always remain the same, right? And that's the reason that I've used the same code here as well as here, because the only difference will be that the thing where we will be passing here will be different, right? We'll not pass data to both of them. Like if data has 100 elements, we'll be passing just the first 5. So essentially this serves the same purpose. Anyway, you'll see more of that as we move along. But for now, we've like rendered new things, right? And inside the new folder, I'll go into new. And inside this, what I'll do is I'll make a form which will have an input, which will be type text, right? And name will be title, and so the ID will be title. I mean, not so. This is not fixed, but that's what we're gonna have. And the label will be for title, and then I'll put in title, and then I'll copy this and this will change to content. The label for will change to content. The name will change to content, and so will the ID change. Excellent. So now we'll not give the action and method just yet because we don't have the post route set up. We'll do that again later, but for now we can just, or we could actually make the post route right now, right? So okay, let's make the post route. So that will be app dot post, and it will be /blogs. Again, I'm saying that this is the convention. We'll get to see this later on. For now, just follow along with what I'm saying because you know that it is legally allowed, right? You already know that because we don't have any post route with /blogs. We do have a get route, but not a post route. So in here, what we can do is we can do const new post equal to rec dot body. Now, one thing you could be doing is you could be like making a dictionary. Then you would be saying title rec dot body dot title, and then you would put content rec dot body dot content. And while that's perfectly fine, that's not actually what you need to do because you have only 2 things in your rec dot body, and your rec dot body is already an object, right? So this is already of this format because of the way in which you have set this up, right? So you don't have to worry about that. So anyway, what I'm doing here is I'll just do new post is equal to rec dot body, and then I'll do data dot push new post, right? And the next thing that I do is res dot redirect /logs, and this will be a redirect to the get route, right? Because redirect is always to the get route. So this will be our normal post logic, and we'll be adding a new post by doing data.push, right? Of course, this will be temporary until the server does not restart. And hence, I will stop the server and I'll run this by node.app.js instead of node.mon. Great. So now inside here, I can do action will be /blogs, and the method will be post. So now this is submitting to that, and obviously we do need a submit type button, right? So I'll do button, and I'll not style this to yet. Or we'll do add post. That does make more sense. Alright, so a lot of things done here. Let's go to this page. go to slash blog/new, and we get a form. So let's enter the title. Let that be my fifth post. Content will be this is my fifth post, and you'll click on add post. So it does take you to an error. Alright, yeah. So one thing that we forgot that I did have in mind a minute ago, but I forgot to actually do that, is that we have to install body parser too. Otherwise this rec.body won't work, if you remember, right? So for that I'll have to do const body parser is equal to require body parser, right? And then we're going to do the standard body parser line app.use body parser dot URL encoded, if I remember right, extended true. So now this should work, and I'll go back, I'll refresh the page, I'll enter the things again. So of course this still does not work, only because we do not have our server restarted. Now that's done. Now the form should work. And this will be my fifth post. This is my fifth post, add post. And you see the fifth post gets added. And this is only till the server is not refreshed, right? After that, this will vanish. But anyway, we do have our post route set up. So now in this video, we have done a lot of things. We have like set up our main three routes. And we have like rendered the data. The only thing that we've not done is made this data permanent, right? If this data was permanent and it was styled properly, then we would like have a really good looking thing. Styling we'll do on a separate day, and the data persistence, which is by basically the databases, with that we'll start seeing tomorrow, right? So yeah, so that's all for this video, and we'll just modify our Trello for now. So display posts is done. To do the post route for adding blog is done. The next thing that we need to do is add DB. DB is basically database. Great, and then we also need to add styling. Excellent. So these are two things that are left, right? And that's all for this video basically. So I'll see you